But then there's another person I talked to.
Okay.
And she straight up hated it.
Really?
Like, hated it.
Hated it.
And this person, she's no DC hater by any stretch of the imagination. And they use words like convoluted. They used words like messy. They used the phrase massively disappointed. And this is somebody who's, you know, not an extremist. Oh, I love comic book movies, or I hate comic book movies, or I love the old DC, or I hate the old. No, pretty balanced person. And they straight up hated it. Now, I have to emphasize, this is one person. But again, in the service of fairness, I just kind of felt like if I'm going to rush onto my show and put up thumbnails about talking about every time I have somebody tell me that they love Superman, if I'm going to do that, then it's only fair for me to also come out and say, hey, it's not all roses.
So messy, sloppy, convoluted. You know what? And again, I'm curious what my negatives are going to be whenever I watch Superman, because you guys know I'm probably going to like this. I've seen so much stuff that I just already love about this movie. I don't see how I walk away truly angry. I think the only thing I could walk out with it is it was all right. It was fine. And that to me will be devastating. I don't think I could honestly walk out as mad as it, especially with that latest clip that they released the other day.
Finally made. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Dog.
And this right here, this clip, I almost wish I didn't see it. I had no idea Krypto was being kidnapped by Lex Luthor. I should have put it 2 and 2 together. This must be after Lex goes to the Fortress of Solitude, because we see that Krypto is there trying to defend his territory. And I'm very curious how they managed to get Krypto locked away and whatnot. But dude, I love seeing Superman in this moment, all angry.
Righty, you get all of this.
Oh, dude, that is such great. And their dynamic is perfect from what I want.
Where's the dog?
Ooh, so I know people complain like, oh, he's too angry, he's too emotional. Dude, no. I also love it in Henry Cavill's movie in Batman vs. Superman, where he's so mad that Lex took his mom. He's like, where is she? It's also a great moment. But the context of what happens after that moment is where fans start complaining. Because I've already seen Snyder fans start to be like, oh, but when he's mad, his mother gets taken. Fans complain. There's no complaining that he's mad. That also moment in Man of Steel where he's like, you dare to threaten my mother. Dude, great scene. There's just things that happen after that that don't feel as great. And maybe something happens after this that I won't love. But even this moment here with Superman, where he's realizing that Lex is not fazed by his anger.
I have no clue what you're...
I have to pause it or else I'll get copy strike. But here he's like, no clue what you're talking about. I'm totally fine. I'll stand up in your face. I'll give you a kiss, Superman, if I want to.
You're talking about.
Right here. Superman realizes that's not going to work. Me being angry and faking brutality with him is not going to do anything. He looks around, he calms down, and then he tries to touch Lex Luthor in his human heart, which he barely has.
He's just a dog.
Oh, dude, I just love that dynamic. I think James Gunn nailed that well, but I could also understand someone coming out and probably just thinking it's too convoluted. It's not right. I'm so curious how the Justice Gang fits in, and you also have the Engineer with the Authority. You're also introducing us to such a larger universe. The big kaiju, the pocket universe that we see in the trailers. I think there is so many elements, and as a comic book fan, it's like, oh, those are standard kind of things that we can expect. To a lot of general audience, which no offense to that lady, but most ladies aren't big comic book fans. Maybe it's just too weird. And the weirdness got to them. She was just like, not for me. And I think there's going to be a chunk, but I think there's also a reason that Warner Brothers or DC were like, we don't want any reactions right now because people have seen it. Movie's still 2-3 weeks away. And they're like, we just don't, because there could be 100 positive reviews and it's going to be that one negative review that anybody will ever talk about. Right. So we'll see. I'm still liking what I'm seeing, and it's interesting to hear the key words of why it didn't work. It was just messy, convoluted, all over the place and stuff like that. And it does feel like a pretty big story, so I can understand that being a negative, and maybe I will feel that way when I see it, but I don't know if I'll let that bother me to the point I don't like the movie. We'll see when it comes out. But yeah, let me see here. Zack Snyder has good ass movies, and so does James Gunn. I agree. Zack has... I'll get to it because I have the Christopher Reeve movie reviews that are coming out on the channel. And then I'm also doing Superman Returns, Man of Steel, and Batman vs. Superman in a part 2, unless it's like a Wolverine video, you know what I'm saying? But I'm hoping to get that done. There are so many great highs in the Zack Snyder films, but when the lows hit, boy, do the lows hit for me. Let me just say that. So we'll see. We are going into Superman, so I think it's going to be all good. How are you guys feeling about all these reviews and thoughts? And why do you think that even though people have seen the movie, they're just not allowed to say it? You think there's going to be a bigger chunk of dislikers to likers? Is it going to be pretty even? Who knows? Who knows? We'll wait and see. I'm curious what y'all think the Rotten Tomato score will look like. If I'm being realistic, I'm seeing the Rotten Tomato score at like an 82. And remember that when I say that, I'm not saying it'll be 82% of a good movie. I mean, like out of 100 people who see it, I could see like 80% of the people will probably be the ones who like it. And there'll be at least a big chunk, just because I think there's so many giant, larger, weird elements from the trailers, and maybe those just don't jive well with a lot of people. But 78 could be a fair score. But I think somewhere in the 80s is there. If it ends up being the 90s, dude, I will be happy. But we'll see when the movie comes out, right? We'll see what comes out. Some people said 20, dude. Pack it up if Superman comes out at 20%, dude. Ain't no way people are gonna hate the movie that much. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, you guys see that with the information with Superman. Let me know your thoughts on it. Okay. Moving on now to the next topic at hand.